One of my favorite parts of video games has always been the music. Whenever I review a game, I always spend like a minute of the video showing off how cool the music is. As somebody who listens to a lot of music, video game music has been one of the things I listen to the most often, because the songs they put in these games are just bangers, dude. It's gotten me through a lot of rough times and allowed me to stay sane in my lowest moments. It made the games they were from many magnitudes more engaging, and I actually lost my virginity to Sticker Brush Symphony. Okay, I lied. It was One Winged Angel. The point is, video game music means a hell of a lot to me. I listen to it every day of my life, and I can't really imagine my life without it anymore. I mean, like, what am I gonna listen to? 6ix9ine? Like, come on now. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? Cause that's an awfully hot coffee pot. That being said, I'm sure you figured out by the title and thumbnail that I'm not here to talk about just how much I enjoy music, because I could be here all day. No actually, I was writing a script for a completely different video that I wanted to have out this weekend when I went on Twitter and saw a tweet from Gilva Sunner revealing that 1,300 copyright blocks had just come in from Nintendo over video game soundtracks. This tweet is just one in a long thread of tweets dating as far back as 2019, wherein Gilva documents several block purges received by Nintendo since then. Now, before I continue, none of what I'm going to say in this video is based on legal expertise, so don't take it that way. And on the other hand, if you need to ass blast me for getting things wrong, try to be civil about it if you can. I am not an expert, I am a fool. But I am a fool who is willing to learn. Now, in case you're not in the loop, Gilva Sunner's channel is one of the go-to places for all video game soundtracks. Not to be confused with the Silva Gunner channel, which makes funny remixes like this really awesome one where they take the lyrics from Addict and add them to Mario Odyssey Steam Gardens.
This is the mantra, this is my life. You're playing with now till the end of the night. Surrounded by fire, the passion ignites. A hidden
Just about any game you can think of, the soundtrack can usually be found on Gilva Sunner's channel. That is, unless it's one of the 1,300 songs that Nintendo blocked just now. Nintendo has been infamous for not understanding the modern landscape of the internet and social media. Some of you may remember that in 2015 or so, they literally had this shitty program where if you wanted to make YouTube videos on their games, they wanted a 40% cut of your YouTube ad revenue, effectively punishing you for giving their games free publicity, while also telling you that you're not allowed to promote other companies' games at the same time. I don't remember all the details. It was so long ago, but the point is, these guys have been out of touch for some time while also being years behind everyone else when it comes to understanding modern technology and the dynamics between consumers and content publishers. Now, concerning music, YouTube has always been a viable option for listening to music, at least I think. They even have an option to download the videos directly to your phone so you can play them back when you don't have internet, which is great. Now, usually what happens is if somebody uploads an unaltered version of a copyrighted song for which they are not the copyright holder reserves the right to claim the video, which doesn't automatically mean that you're in trouble, but instead means that all the revenue from that video will be handed over to the copyright holder. Now, YouTube's copyright system has never been perfect, and I'm not about to jump down that rabbit hole right now, but seizing someone's revenue on a song that's yours, that's not particularly unreasonable to me. What Nintendo has opted for instead is to block all these videos, which, yes, as far as I know, they are well within their legal right to do that too, and again, this is debatably reasonable as well. But it would be a lot more reasonable if there was another legitimate, affordable avenue to listen to their music. The problem with this is that Nintendo, unlike other video game companies, not to mention more mainstream non-video game music companies, has offered no viable alternative to listen to their soundtracks. Some games do have music CDs, but half the time they're only released in Japan, and on the other hand, a lot of people don't even use CDs anymore anyway. Compared to fucking I don't know, Gambini or something, who you can find on Spotify, only a selection of Nintendo music can be found on such platforms. From what I understand, you can probably find some odd Mario and Zelda songs on iTunes and whatnot, and some special editions of their games came packaged with some music CDs, but for the most part, YouTube is the only real and convenient way to listen to all their music, and when you take that away, you're not only screwing people, but also yourself by not taking advantage of the dynamics of the modern landscape. And if any of this sounds familiar, well, this is basically the same exact bullshit that me and many people like me have already bitched about with respect to Nintendo's treatment of emulation. If you're just not gonna sell me Thousand Year Door anymore while telling me on your website, dead ass, to just buy it on eBay for $300, that's entirely up to you. But don't start shitting your dick when I decide to emulate it instead, right? Likewise, if you're not gonna wake up and smell the coffee of the modern music landscape and realize that people actually like to listen to the music that you worked so hard on when you were putting it in your games, Koji Kondo, you fucking brilliant genius, you can't yell at me for listening to your music when some schmuck on YouTube uploads it to their channel. From what I understand, Gilva Sunner is also not monetizing any of their videos, while acknowledging that that doesn't necessarily make the uploading of Nintendo's music any more viable legally. But what that says to me is that this really is nothing more than an effort to make that music readily available to the masses, which I greatly appreciate, because I'm kind of a part of that. At the same time, if Nintendo wants to enact copyright on that stuff, why not just do what regular music people do and use the copyright claim thing to monetize it themselves and take the revenue? Gilva doesn't care about making money off of it, so if Nintendo could make money off of it while leaving it up for me and all the other music hobos out there, that to me is a win-win. And that's what it all comes down to. Access. How exactly does one listen to Nintendo's soundtracks without looking it up on YouTube? Well, with Smash Ultimate's music player. Yeah, the music player in a full-price $60 game. I'ma keep it real with you, Nintendo. I'm not firing up Smash Ultimate just to hear the temple theme, and neither is anybody else. I want to be able to take my music wherever I go on my phone, just like every other regular-ass song I can do that with. I want to be able to wander around drunk into a McDonald's at 3 a.m. while listening to the stupid minigame song from DK64 on my headphones. Because that's freedom. The obvious thing that I imagine is weighing on some of your minds right now is, well, there are other YouTubers that do the same thing and haven't been attacked yet, which is true. Gilva Sunner is definitely not the only one dedicated to this preservation project, but if one of them gets slapped, the other ones could go too, and still, none of that changes the fact that Nintendo isn't providing a practical, reasonable, legal avenue to access that music while they're running around slapping all these YouTubers. Let's say you just want to listen to a few Nintendo songs. You'd have to be some kind of humiliation fetishist to drop full price for Smash just to hear it through there. I guess the thesis of this video is that Nintendo needs to sort out a real way of providing music from their games to the average consumer who can listen to any old shit online on either YouTube or some streaming service or whatever. Their approach vis-a-vis Gilva Sunner specifically, I don't really know who this is helping. I would assume it helps Nintendo, but I don't really get how. I don't know, from my perspective it's not adding up, but in any case, that's it. That's all the time I have right now. I have to get back to listening to the Mario Galaxy soundtrack on my Nintendo 3DS. Thank you.